I'm Amina Dasani with Austin Underground, and I'm here right now with ELF 1011 at Fun 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 Fest. Can you guys introduce yourselves and talk about what many instruments you play? Well, yeah.
I'm Christian. I play the double neck bass / guitar, and this is.
I'm Tim. I'm Tim, and I play drums.
All right. Well, first of all, this is going to be the most obvious question, so I started with it. But where'd y'all's names come?
Ask us something else.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to ask you because I'm curious. Okay, I'm a journalist. Where'd y'all get your name? Where did that come from? What?
It's an airplane. I'm a helicopter pilot, and I'm nerdy about aircraft. It's just an old airplane.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, we spell it a little differently. The aircraft is L1011, the letter L, which stands for Lockheed. But we didn't want to get sued, and we live in Southern California where there's a ton of Spanish culture, so there you go.
Cool. Okay, and so basically you don't have any vocals, but your sound is basically like one of y'all play like the double neck bass, right? And then slash the fretless bass, right? And then y'all use looping. I'm gonna read off my list. I can't even memorize it. Looping, vamping. Y'all use an effect, which is the use of the effects pedal. Electric drumming. Y'all are basically using your feet and y'all's hands at the same time. You don't use any laptops, anything like that. It's all live, and all the looping is done live. How do y'all do it, basically, is what I want to know. That's insane, and I think that's really crazy. How do y'all multitask so well?
A lot of practice. We weren't good at it when we first started, but we do. We've been together for 10 years now, so we got a lot of hours in. So we pull it together. I mean, mistakes happen. Like today, at these festivals, we don't get a sound check. We get on stage, and something always goes wrong. Like today, it was my pedals not really working and turning off, and being blinded by the sun, so I couldn't really see what I was doing. I mean, but it's still a lot of fun, and hopefully we hid the mistakes enough that nobody really noticed.
That sounds cool. But where did you give y'all the idea of combining so much into one place? Did y'all have any background with any of it, or?
Of the whole looping thing, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I'd never even heard of a looping pedal when we first formed the band. I thought when I asked him to form a band that we'd probably have to get another person, or maybe two. But he had seen John Bryan playing in LA using the looping pedal incredibly, and he said, "You ever tried a looping pedal?" I'm like, "What is that?" So borrowed one from a friend, and we had a band practice, and our eyes lit up, and we're like, "Oh, maybe we can do this, just the two of us." And here we are 10 years later still doing it.
It's amazing. That's really cool. And how has you guys have released 5 albums along with some singles. How do you think your music has changed overall since you guys first started? You'll definitely have a sound that I think has been compared a lot with Explosions in the Sky and Rat-a-tat, or at least, sorry, Rat. But how do you think your music has changed over time?
Well, the main thing is we've just gotten a lot better at the technical part of what we do, so that's not as much of an issue as it was at the very beginning. So for us, our first record sounds very naive because we were still figuring out what the hell we were doing. So to us, it's funny because a lot of people really love that record, but to us, it's like, God, we weren't that good yet. Why do you like that? But now we have, and I'm not saying this in a conceited way, but we have gotten really good at what we do technically. So that's not really as much of an obstacle anymore. We're able to just create and know that we can put it together, and we'll be able to do it with our feet and our hands and make it happen.
No, that's, yeah. I guess the sound has evolved for sure. Like he was saying, I don't want to call them tricks, but we just learned new ways of doing things and developed it in new techniques, and so that allows us to explore different songwriting and performing kind of stuff, and we always kind of try to challenge ourselves, not in a let's make it really crazy and hard, but try not to repeat ourselves. And so every record has its own sound, I think, and sounds differently and has evolved. And I don't know what the next one is going to sound like, but I just think it just gets a little bit more. I guess we get a little bit more L1011-y on each record. Does that sound right? Something like that.
And speaking of future music, what are y'all working on a new record right now? I know you guys released Transitions recently.
Yeah.
Are you working on new music or touring with Transitions?
Both. Well, we have 3 new songs recorded, that are almost finished actually, and we don't know what we're going to do with them yet. We might release them as an EP in the beginning of 2013, or if Transitions is doing really well and we want to keep touring and supporting that, then we might push that back a little bit and maybe record some more stuff and release a longer record later. So we're not sure, but those 3 new songs we really like a lot. Like, we like it better than anything else we've done. So we're kind of excited to put them out, but we need to kind of, Transitions is just coming out and it's doing really well. It's doing really well at college radio, like the best we've ever done. We're selling a lot of copies. People actually do still buy music, believe it or not. And so we're really encouraged how well things are going. Like, this tour is the best we've done, attendance-wise. So in this business, you kind of want to strike while the iron's hot. So we'll see. We're not sure yet.
What made you decide to kind of go ahead and create your own record label? I think that was for your 4th album, right?
Actually, so from the very beginning, what happened was when we recorded our first record, we just did it ourselves, and we had noticed that other local bands, when they put out a record, would put on the back of it, Microphone Records or whatever, and that made us laugh because we're like, that's not a real record label, that's you. So on the back of ours, we put Fake Record Label just as a joke. But then we actually did get signed. That record got licensed by a record label called Bar None out of New York. And we like them, we're friends with them, but we didn't think they did that much better of a job than we could have done ourselves. So starting on the next record, we said, let's legitimize this and just do it ourselves. And over the years, it's gotten more and more and more legitimate to the point where now it really is a label that has all the things that labels have. Like, we just signed another artist, so
We're gonna totally screw him over.
yeah, he's
That's
gonna
what
get
labels
scrut
do.
for sure. Yeah.
So we got
I hope
our
you're not
first.
watching, Jerry.
We have our first person we'll screw over. We're trying to find more people to screw over. So if you have demo
Yeah.
tapes, we'll.
You got stars in your eyes? You want to make it to the top?
I'm
Come to Fake Record Label. Seriously, I have a great contract for you. You're going to be huge. Everyone's going to love you. Seriously, you're amazing.
So good.
That's great.
Pretty good record company guy, right?
Yeah,
I think you're the next
We've
Jimmy
learned the hard
Page. You don't know who Jimmy Page? I think you're the next Kanye.